What's up, my dudes? Valkyrja, and today I want to be teaching you guys, or at least trying to explain to you guys, how to make a deck, essentially. What synergies to look for and exactly kind of playstyles to go for and stuff like that. It might be a little bit complicated, but I'm going to try to break it down and make it easy. I might succeed, I might not. It's going to be kind of ranty. You'll get the idea. For that, I'm just going to showcase one of my decks, and then I'm going to explain synergies and stuff to look for. So I'm going to bring up what I think is one of the better complete decks. So the reason I have this deck and the reason I like this deck is because you have Xingling spawns Goba. Goba goes ahead and applies Pyro at the end of the round, as well as dealing 2 damage. Pretty cool. You can see deal 2 Pyro damage at an end phase. That one's pretty important. Mona has Illusory Turret, as well as a Mirror Reflection of Doom. Pretty important. And then Gamersupps Ayaka gains Cryo Infusion on swap-in. So she gets Cryo Infusion on her normal for very cheap Cryo application on 1 energy or 1 Cryo and 2 random energy. It lets you basically finish rounds without having any leftover energy. It lets you use basically everything. And here we have Ayaka's Equip card. And Mona's Equip card, although you really never use it, because you need Mona to have ult to actually use it, so it kind of never really gets any use. But here we have a bunch of equipped spells, or artifact spells, we have a bunch of locations, some support cards, and then some action cards, etc. And if you look, a lot of the deck is centered around swapping through fast actions because of Mona's passive, and getting advantage off of swapping my characters. So here you can see I have this to spend 1 less elemental die to swap. I have this to generate 1 energy whenever I do swap to a character with no energy. And then I have this to generate energy, this to generate energy, this to swap and spend 1 less dice whenever I swap, reroll for consistency, etc., etc. It's based around just swapping and just being able to apply elements quickly and doing stuff like that. So hopefully that gives you an idea of where I'm going to go. So basically, whenever you're making a deck, first thing you got to do obviously is pick your 3 characters who are the foundation for the deck. You're going to want to have 1 main DPS, like for me in this situation is Ayaka. You're going to want to have 1 element applicator that's going to try to trigger reactions, or at least apply an element to cause reactions, which would be Xingling in this situation, and then 1 supplementary character, a character that's going to help kind of support and facilitate your strategy, and for this it's Mona. Another really strong supplementary character is Sucrose. She goes into a lot of teams, she spreads a lot of elements, and allows a taser setup like this to exist. So Sucrose is another really good supplementary character. There's going to be basically, you got to think of like kind of whenever you're actually playing the game, because elemental reactions are a very, very, very big deal inside the game, and it lets you deal a lot of damage. So it's something to keep in mind, and then you're going to want to find out how you want to play. You can have a weapon-specific playstyle. I definitely am trying it. I try to make a Dilute Go Bonk deck. It's actually pretty fun. You can have an artifact-specific playstyle to where there's cards to facilitate swapping artifacts. There's cards to facilitate swapping weapons through your characters. So you swap weapons, swap artifacts. There's all sorts of cards to facilitate every playstyle. There's a lot of strategies. Whenever it comes to best or meta, that's not going to be found for quite a while, because people, one, have to have all the cards available to them. There could be some low-key strategies people can't use yet. There's even a strategy for the food, for NRE, to where you can basically have one of the strongest engines in the game, the NRE machine, and just sit there and eat food like crazy and heal the hell out of all your allies, or heal the hell out of your characters. There's a lot of strategies for that, to where it's easier to deck out your entire deck. And whenever you do deck out, I saw somebody ask this question, whenever you deck out, nothing happens, like you don't lose the game instantly, you just get, that's all your cards, like you run out of cards, so you have what you have in your hand. But yeah, there's strategies for basically everything. You're just going to want to try to pick action cards that facilitate whatever strategy you're trying to execute, because it's going to vary from team to team. A good example for the weapon strategy, this is my team. It's a team fully based around using Ellen and using stuff like this to go ahead and have cheaper goes, to where I can attack with Yoimiya many times a turn. I get a free elemental skill. I get Ellen that's going to help it become cheaper, so I can attack with Yoimiya 3-4 times a single turn. It makes it very strong. Takes a little bit of setup, and also whenever you have double Pyro, you get access to stuff like Pyro Resonance. So you have specific cards like this. Elemental Resonance Woven gives me an extra Pyro die for free. On this one, it Pyro related reactions. Your current active character triggers deals +3 damage. There's stuff like that. There's a lot of elemental resonance cards that you can have in your deck. So if you're running double element, like 2 elemental resonance is actually going to be pretty viable because of the elemental resonance card. But depending on the support you have, that's actually going to be applying elements. Somebody like Mona, like I said, good character, great character. I've already talked about her. But there's decks like this. There's so many different ways to strategize and come up with plays and come up with ideas that you basically just have to find what you want to do. You have to find out how you want to play your deck that you're making, how you want to facilitate your strategy, and then you want to try to execute to the absolute best degree you can. So, a little quick video on it. Hopefully it wasn't too convoluted. This is like my 3rd take trying to make it. I'm trying to simplify it as much as possible, and hopefully this does help some people out. I don't know if it actually will because I still end up going on tangents. Hopefully I helped some people out. Anyways, thank you guys for watching as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.